The first big romance movie is releasing in theaters. That's right, in theaters. Wish You Were Here is a romance drama movie book adaptation from the same name with Renne Carlino. I'm probably not saying her name right. I do apologize, which I have the book right here as well. This marks Julia Stiles' directorial debut, so she's behind the camera this time. And it stars Mena Massoud, you know, the guy from Aladdin that came out in 2019. And I'm so glad he's back in this project. It's been a while since we've seen him in other big movies. And I'm thinking, Mena Massoud, dude, you were such a phenomenal actor in Aladdin. You definitely need to get some work. And it's been a while, but we'll talk about that in a second. And also stars Isabelle Fuhrman. You probably known her role best in Orphan and Orphan First Kill. And she was also in the first Hunger Games as one of the tributes. And fun fact, Julia Stiles in that movie Orphan First Kill that came out in 2022 actually played her mother. So when I was doing researching and I saw that movie in theaters, I was like, huh, she looks so familiar. So they're teaming up again, just in a different variation. After a magical one-night stand, it turns into what it feels like a lifelong journey of romancing. 6 months go by according to the book. I don't think it's translated into the movie. It doesn't say 6 months go by. They have a chance to rekindle their relationship, only life has changed their situation to make it a drastic turn. Will they be together? What is that medical situation that you've seen in the trailers? Does it stay true to the book? Find out as we talk about it. I gotta give you some prerequisites before we talk about this review. I am a heterosexual male that loves women. If I see a woman looking at me at like a coffee shop or a bookstore, I will approach and say hi. The reason why I'm telling you this is because before YouTube, I went to school to become a marriage counselor. So some of you have been following me for a while, which is awesome. Thank you. I love you. You guys know that I am on your side. I'm your man's. I want love to succeed, but I will be critical, and a lot of guys get stigmatized bashing on them why they like romance, but it's weird. You know, relationships are two people. It's either man and man, man female, or female female. So it's weird. I don't know why people are just like that, but just letting you know that I'm on your man's. I'm in your corner. I saw the trailer about a month ago during the holidays, right? And I clicked on it and 5 seconds go by and I stopped. I'm like, you know what? The trailer is going to ruin it a lot for me. So I only saw 5 seconds of it. I only wanted to get the main characters ingrained in what they look like before I started reading the book. So I knew it was Mena Massoud and Isabella. So then I went to Barnes & Noble, I picked up the book and I started reading it. And that's how I like to do my book reviews in movies and theaters, basically for romancing. So let's start with the obvious question. Does the movie stay true to the book? Honestly, yeah, it does. Although it does change some key aspects, just like any other book to translation into movies, which we'll talk about in a minute. Basically, Seth's character is still there. Helen, Chucky, Adam, but also follows the formula kind of mostly to a T, although the middle part of the book is basically non-existent in the movie. Charlotte is a middle 20-year-old something beautiful, gorgeous babe working at a restaurant in California. I think it's Los Angeles. Correct me if I'm wrong. She serves chicken tortilla soup when her best friend Helen decides, hey, I just got broken up with. Let's go into the night out into the evening, right? Just like the book. Then when they're coming back home, drunk as hell, they meet Adam, which what feels like he's holding amazing smelling Chinese food, especially just like the book, which is awesome. So they hit it off. They start talking, which is great because that's like the beginning of the movie, beginning of the book. Adam and Charlotte are quickly captivated by each other. Just like in the book, they start talking to each other, and even some of the dialogue as incorporated into the movie, which is cool because Adam is lost. He's new to this town and he's like, you know what? You girls have a good night. Here's some dumplings, right? So they have a great time and, you know, they go out to what feels like a magical evening. Now, if you're asking me, do I think the two main leads have good amount of chemistry? I think maybe. I think they just have enough to make the movie believable, although I don't think they have the best amount of chemistry. As much as they're gorgeous and perfect, and Mena Massoud, no homo, he's a good looking guy, he really is. I don't think they're the best. I mean, I do believe they're attracted to each other, but this movie didn't tug at my heartstrings to make me feel really, I mean, it didn't make me feel things, but not as a way of other things. And I will reference We Live in Time that came out in October, and that movie was awesome. That movie made me feel a lot of things. That actually movie made me cry. This movie with both of the two character leads, which I do like, I don't think I like them as much as We Live in Time, and I'm not trying to do a comparison here. I'm just giving you a reference point to say, yeah, they have enough amount of chemistry to make the movie work, and I don't think it's like the best, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? What the movie needed to get right in a short amount of runtime, when 1 hour and 39 minutes, which is a downfall, which we'll talk about later, is the magical one night stand, and of course the ending situation with the medical and the hospital and what's going on there. I never watch trailers when I see the movie in theaters. Literally, I went to Marcus Theaters at the ass crack of dawn in the morning of Sunday, right? I don't know why it's a limited release release. I literally had to drive, and like the weekend in Chicago was like 1 degree weather, right? 30 minutes away, and then come back to review the movie. So it's a beautiful sunny day, right? I literally leave the movie theaters inside the lobby. I pull up the trailer just to see what I'm missing, and that's why I don't watch trailers. The trailers literally give you everything. The medical situation, there's another guy in the picture, Helen, something's going on, he might not make it. I'm like, what? That is so lame, because when I was reading the book, I had no idea what it was about. I thought it was gonna be some sappy romance, right? But it does give you clues, like in the movie, that he's forgetful about things. Is he losing his mind? Before we talk about Seth, I do want to talk about Helen. I think Helen is perfectly cast. She provides the comedic relief to Charlotte's character. She's like the one who's outgoing, let's find love. She's amazing, and I feel like anyone can see themselves in this role because they're middle 20-year-old, right? And they're still living through life. They're going through multiple jobs. They don't know what they want to do yet. And I think in the book, and I'm paraphrasing here, she says, in the past 2 years, I had twice as many boyfriends. And I'm really trying to find the spot, but I think she says that in the book. I'm like, dude, that's amazing, because we're all trying to date. We're all trying to find love, especially now, swiping. People are just like, dude, dating has become a whole different story, but that's a side topic. Seth's character in the book, when I was reading him in the book, I did like the movie version of Seth better. I'm like, wow, this guy's cool, you know? He really won me over. Although, to be honest with you, there are some changes with him that might affect the way you feel about the movie and book, so we will talk about it. No spoilers, of course. Seth, I thought he was trying too hard. In the book, I'm like, dude, I want her to be the Adam because I knew what Adam looked like, Mena Massoud. And I'm not just saying it based on looks, but I'm like, dude, Seth, there's so many girls out in the world. Why are you hung up on one person, bro? However, Seth's character, I feel like they did not do him justice. In the book, he's a baseball player. In the movie, guess what? He's a football player. What? I know that he's still into sports, but it's like, dude, what? That's crazy. So he basically has the smallest amount of screen time. He shows up, you're like, hey, can I take you on a date? And they try to date, but then they don't because she's still in love with Adam. But still, it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's fallen by the wayside. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the book, he says, I'll leave you and Helen some tickets at the ticketing box office will to catch my game at the baseball. But then when they go to practice, and when these girls go to practice in the movie, it's a football game. It's not a baseball game. There's no one there. In the book, there was people there. Yes, I get it. It was the minor leagues, but no one was there in the movie. They basically go to a empty practice field. The whole stadium's empty. You're asking me why do I think this? And I think it's because time, money, and budget. They're probably like, you know what? We can't hire all these extra actors to fill out the background just like in the book. So we're gonna change you to football, and there's not gonna be nobody there. I'm like, wow, dude, wow. It's not like a AAA blockbuster release. It kind of felt a little bit more cozy and homey, but just letting you know that there's no one there in the stadium. There's no one there. That was so bizarre because in the book, there's people. In the movie, there's nobody. Yes, I get it. They're still not changing the fundamentals of the book and movie or the storyline, but still, it's just a thing that is jarring because I'm like, wow, that really took me out. When I was watching it in the movie, I was like, huh, there's no one there, and it just felt so weird. The long of it short of it is it does follow the same formula, although Seth's character, the middle part of the book is basically deleted in the movie. I mean, yes, it's still there, and she does think about him. She does miss him, especially in the book. It says, wish you were here. Throughout the book, she wishes Adam was there because they didn't talk, and she didn't know why, and I didn't know why. But still, I don't know how you would react if you saw the movie and didn't know there was a book, because at a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes, I feel like it was rushed. Yes, I did have that knowledge coming from the book, but when I was watching the movie, I was like, it just felt, and look, I'm being honest, it just felt the movie was like, we need to hit every major plot point in the book. We need to hit Adam's first night, the heartbreak, Seth's character, the medical situation, and what happened at the end. Yeah, his note is still there, especially like the ending where he says, hey, you know, and I don't want to spoil it for you. It's still there, but it's like, what? But just like the book, the movie does represent the medical situation, which I'm not gonna say about it. I just will tell you that it's there. They do get a good amount of screen time. Charlotte and Adam, I mean, they're the ones being marketed, right? But like I told you before, it just still felt rushed. It's one of those movies where you'll like if you've seen 5 Feet Apart, Everything, Midnight Sign, and We Live in Time. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a C+. I think this is a good job and a good start for the directorial debut of Julia Stiles. I guess my criticism is maybe it just could be a little bit longer. I mean, other than that, the chemistry could have been better, but it's still fine enough for the movie to see. But still, I felt like just being a little bit longer could have been a long way. And don't change too many things. You know, you changed, I get it. The storyline is still there, but hey, you know what? It's a good, faithful adaptation. And Julia Stiles, you did do a great job. Now, what do I know? I'm just like a guy that watches movies, but I'm just being honest with you. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it so much. Go ahead and maybe hit that like button and the subscribe button. And don't forget to check out any other videos that I release in the future. And with that, take care. Bye.